with another game. This is top 4, I believe. We'll have Bryce Ong versus Joshua Denk. Very interesting teams here. Critically, the Psy Spam, Armor and DD with the Hatterene, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Chenpao, Iron Hands from Bryce, and another 2-2-2 team out of Josh. Very the exact same team actually.
Oh my goodness.
But with slightly different moves. Another Speed Flutter probably, a Ogre Punt. Very, very similar teams out here. I'm excited to see how this matchup goes. The matchup is very interesting actually. I think Armor Rouge is going to be extremely important here, how we choose to position it, because again, Chenpao makes it really awkward.
Oh yeah, no, Dark
but
types are never
Dondozo,
good.
so again, Clear Dondozo is generally very offensive. That Expanding Force is going to do quite a lot, so
Yeah.
we'll see how Bryce chooses to position this. Iron Hands is very interesting here because it puts a lot of pressure on a lot of mons in Josh's team, but the Terra Water is very interesting. Josh can go for the Wood Hammer, but we'll see what these players choose to pick.
Yeah, I mean, these are, we're actually happy to see these two. I mean, personally, they're good friends of ours, right? And we think they're very strong players, right? So I mean,
both these players are very decorated, very talented. Both of them, especially Bryce, has a tendency to make very strong predictions. So I'm excited to see that.
Oh yeah, no, we're I mean, they're here in top 4, so I mean, they're pulling their weight with these teams. Interesting, very interesting.
Pretty interesting here.
Yeah.
Josh is considering the Chenpao Dozo lead. Very common lead out here for a lot of these 2-2-2 players. They seem to really love this lead.
Yeah, I mean,
so we're going to see a Tatsu in the back and a Fluttermane. So actually, very similar mirror to what we saw.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's like we're seeing the same team.
Yeah, and it's actually really interesting, right? Because this Dozo does seem to be very offensive. The Wave Crash coming out next to the Chenpao actually threatens a lot, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I actually played Dozo Chenpao at Portland, and people are always surprised at how much Dozo without Tatsu Boost is doing. Yeah. So we're gonna see the Armor and the Chenpao lead out of Bryce here, or Bong here. It's gonna be very interesting to see how he chooses to pivot, because there is an Indeedee in the back most likely. So.
Yeah, and Joshua putting on like a really good amount of pressure here the Armor Rouge might actually just need to protect here, right?
Yeah, a Terra Grass or protect here. It's very threatening. Like it's really. It's relatively safe for Josh to just switch to Tatsu and Earthquake, right?
Yeah.
There's very little Bryce can do to punish that with this position. A Terra Grass and switch to Armor, Expanding Force switch to Indeedee is a read he could make, but it's a little risky. So
yeah, he will be a lot more vulnerable, right? Because if he switches to Indeedee and just goes for the Expanding Force, then it could lead to his Armor Rouge being KO'd. But let's see here. There's only one switch out here, and is Bryce gonna switch out? No, he's not.
So we'll see the Tatsugiri coming into the Dozo, getting the Commander boost. It's gonna be very interesting to see what Bryce clicks here. He's in a lot of threat here because that Armor Rouge is gonna critically take a lot from Earthquake if it doesn't Terrasilize. So no Terra coming out from the Armor Rouge, and nothing coming out from this.
And is he just scouting? Is he gonna protect the?
So he is double attacking, going for the scout. Very safe play from Bryce.
And honestly, it was a better play, right? Because now Josh is actually trapped in crucially with the Dondozo Tatsugiri.
Josh alternatively can also scout, going for his own protect. It's very interesting here to see how he chooses to position around it, because Armor Rouge is really scary here, going into that getting that Expanding Force off, right? Dozo is generally not the most specially defensive mon, even with the +2 boost, so it's another Earthquake here, and we'll see what Bryce chooses to do.
Yeah, if he Terra Grass switches into DD, he will get a really big Expanding Force off right here. So let's see if he pulls the trigger, because it is a commitment that can go very wrong, right? If Josh decides to make
also interesting to know, while Sacred Sword Chenpao does not do that much damage to Dozo, it does ignore the boost. So it does do a little bit, pretty amount. So we are going to see the Terra Grass come out for the Armor Rouge.
Yeah,
that's really interesting here, but no
kind
switches. So the Chenpao Sash is most likely going to be broken this turn. We'll see what Josh chooses to click here. We're seeing the Terra Grass. Sacred Sword into the Dozo, doing quite a lot actually.
Good amount, yeah, that's a good chip.
Earthquake, breaking that Sash. How much is it going to do to the Armor Rouge?
Yeah, that's very crucial.
So
yeah, not that much.
Does not actually do that much. So Dozo is actually in a really awkward position.
And actually just goes for a raw Expanding Force.
That does critical hit. That is
oh my goodness,
huge here. Now the Dozo is very threatened from the Sacred Sword and the Tatsugiri just going down.
Or even just Sucker Punch, right? I mean, it's just it has no priority on it. So I mean, the critical hit was huge.
It did it go for Order Up this turn?
Oh no, I mean it didn't
hit Earthquake, right? Yeah, so it's gonna be slower than the Chenpao still. So Sacred Sword out here into the Expanding Force. It can do quite a lot to this Tatsu, making it really awkward. Bryce can also go for the Trick Room here. That would be a very interesting option.
Yeah,
I think it'll actually be the best play from him, maybe.
Yeah, because
that Trick Room up from the armor.
it puts him in a very...
He does go for the Trick Room. Bong in a very good position here now. It's going to be very awkward for Josh, but do remember that there is a Chenbao in the back that does threaten Armor Rouge quite a lot, so... Josh is actually going to choose to switch into Fluttermane here. That's a very interesting choice.
And this is actually really bad position for Josh because he has no Pokemon that can realistically function under Trick Room right now, right?
It's interesting. This Fluttermane is not as bulky as most. It is still decent but bulky, but I'm interested to see if it'll actually survive an Expanding Force.
And now, actually, crucially, Qianpao underspeeds Fluttermane normally, so it actually
and
goes before so it actually goes before both of them. So
it wouldn't be the worst play for Armor Rouge to just protect here and Ice Crash the Flutter for the guaranteed knockout on the Indeedee switch next turn. Let's see what Bryce chooses to do.
So
Sucker Punch can come up here too.
Qianpao funnily the second slowest mon on the field.
Bryce chooses to make the safer play. Switching into Indeedee. We will see how much this Expanding Force does.
This is going to do so much, probably.
I do doubt Fluttermane dying, but we will see.
Yeah, Tatsugiri is probably going to be taken down, like, for sure. Here comes the Expanding Force.
I don't know, a lot of people are running bulky Tatsugiri. Okay, so
yeah, doesn't take out
Draco critically does hit, but it does knock out. But we did see Josh locking that Shadow Ball, I think. So Indeedee is not going to really be touched.
Yeah. So I mean, he does crucially just get a lot of chip down, right? Even though he only...
Hattering's also most likely in the back, so... Oh, Dazzling was locked in, actually. I'm blind.
Wow, I mean, Indeedee actually took that really comfortably, being Psychic Seed, right? And if
it's not Psychic Seed.
Not Psychic Seed, it's just very specially...
Rocky Helmet, yeah. No, I know that Indeedee spread, actually. Very bulky. So, Hattering does come out here, starting a double knockout with Dazzling Gleam. I think this thing might be over. I'm not... Like, barring a triple protect, I don't see how Josh gets us out of this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's just too many turns of Trick Room left, and I mean...
And even when Trick Room goes down, the Hatterings put so much pressure on Qianpao, right? There's Hattering and Indeedee and another Qianpao left in the back. Its Sash might be broken, but like, it's still another Qianpao, and yeah, so... We'll see how...
And again, it actually outspeeds Flutter and Tatsugiri under Trick Room, right? Yeah. So it's really funny.
We'll see if Bong can clean up here, but Fluttermane does go for that Protect. Gonna live another turn. Tatsugiri almost definitely going down here. The Dazzling Gleam into the Nether deck, essentially?
Yeah, I mean, just to, like, you know, pick up the KO, like, guaranteed, right? I mean, it can't really miss, but, you know, never can be too safe. Maybe something switches in, but we kind of
break that Qianpao Sash, You know, it'd been really interesting if Bryce had predicted that Protect and gone for the double Trick Room, because the Tatsugiri is locked into Draco, so it's not going to be doing much here, but he does not refresh the Trick Room turns. Instead, just going for the knockout. And Qianpao coming in, this is really critical.
Yeah, and Qianpao, I think maybe a double Protect from Qianpao Fluttermane might help things, right? Because we actually don't... I think there's only, like, a few more turns of Trick Room left. Oh, we can't get because of stream. It's like actually perfectly blocking
it,
yeah, but I mean,
I think it's two more, so it's gonna be really tough here for Josh. Going for that Protect on the Qianpao. Probably.
I think
I don't see many outs for him, barring crazy RNG.
And
Shadow Ball going out to Hattering. I think that's a pretty safe play. Helping Hand coming out.
Helping Hand Dazzling definitely takes out the
Fluttermane is not living this. Unless it's Focus Band. We clearly know it's not, so. So, Fluttermane's going down here. So, I think,
Trick Room
honestly...
ends maybe one more turn after this?
So, I mean, it doesn't matter too much, because I don't think this Qianpao is really going to be able to deal with another Qianpao and a Hattering in the back. The Qianpao in the back, especially since Indeedee still has Follow Me available for if Hattering does go down.
He is going for the Icicle Crash here.
So, Trick Room is still up, so...
Yeah, maybe I think double protect is his out here. Does he get it? No, he doesn't get it. Yeah,
critically for Josh, it's how he chooses to play the Dozo going into game 2. I think the turn 1 switch to Dozo, well, seemed like a good play on the surface. Bryce really caught it out with that.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, it's kind of like how people like to bait out Terras by just like double protecting, right? Bryce kind of did that and just...
There wasn't really anything Josh could do to really punish a double protect anyway. Like, there was no setup moves on the field. There's nothing he could switch in that would give him a better positional advantage that he brought in the back. So, very interesting turns here from both Josh and Bryce. I think, see how Bong chooses to reposition for next game, maybe to adapt to get a cleaner win, or Josh even trying to adapt to Bryce. It's going to be really interesting.
And also, crucially, Bryce did get that crit we saw earlier, right? I mean, but that actually did put a damper in a lot of Josh's like plans, right?
That crit was really huge, right?
He could have just ordered up, like turn after.
Then
probably
faster than Chen Pao.
Yeah, faster than Chen Pao, and maybe even took out the Armor Rouge if he was targeting that slot, right?
And Trick Room wouldn't have gone up as easily, right? So we'll see how these two players choose to position going forward. I will say, Bryce is one of the most practiced Dondozo players I know. He's practiced into the Dondozo arc quite a lot, so it is interesting to see how his knowledge of the ways Dozo players use Switch and play around it is coming to shine here. Josh is also a person who's been practicing Dozo for quite a while,
for sure.
He's been playing it for quite a while.
A lot of these guys like Dozo, I hear. So I mean,
very interesting Pokemon. You can do a lot of interesting things with it, some unfun things. From it.
But, again, like one of his downsides is that it is just a straight commitment, right? I mean, if you're in there, you're in there, right? But
so it seems like Josh is considering the same lead out here. Oh no, I lied. He's switching it up.
He might be, or it might just be.
Okay, yeah, he's just going for the same lead. We'll see how this
something
goes.
different in the back, right? I mean,
so critically, top two in the back is not the greatest there. It did not get the value it needed because the critical hit bypassing that commander boost. Josh really couldn't do much to position around that. But that turn one, like the turn one leads were super good in Josh's favor, right? It gave him a lot of positional advantage. Unfortunately, Bryce catches it out with that double strike. So seeing how they choose to adapt is really interesting. So we're actually going to see the Hearthflame Fluttermane lead with the Tatsugiri Dozo in the back.
Running out of time, but
seems like Josh is too scared to bring the Dragonite into Psychic Terrain, right?
Yeah.
Where half of its moves are literally invalidated. So.
Yeah, so I mean, but it's actually interesting, right? He's going, I believe he led Hearthflame Chen Pao, right? Yeah, so I mean, that's actually a very offensive lead here, right? And
oh no, Hearthflame Fluttermane.
That's also
so Icy Wind plus Ivy Cudgel, taking pretty much everything, unless it's critically, you know.
It bypasses the Flash Fire boost. That's actually
the Mold Breaker bypassing Flash Fire. Very interesting, actually.
But I mean, might not do too much damage because it is still resisted, I believe.
Yes.
But I mean, knowing how strong Hearthflame Ogerpon is, might just do half anyway.
The Indeedee still does have its Follow Me. Trick Room going up here would not be the greatest for Josh. As we know, he does have the Dozo on the back, so he does not have the greatest answers. Trick Room going up, so he does go for that Ivy Cudgel into the Armor Rouge slot. Oh, he's actually putting the Indeedee. So critically here, the Indeedee is actually Rocky Helmet, putting that chip on the Ogerpon, maybe putting it closer into more expanding force.
Ivy Cudgel is not a contact move, actually.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that.
I believe it's not a contact move.
I keep forgetting about that because it reminds me of Woodhammer. Yeah, so we'll see Dazzling Gleam coming out here from the Fluttermane. Into that Resist on the Armor Rouge slot.
Oh,
so the Terra turn 1.
Is he tearing Armor Rouge here?
It is the Armor Rouge.
That's very interesting because it actually makes it
I
so
think
that
he's going
it's
for the Follow Me.
Yeah. But actually, crucially, it does not resist the whatever the Fluttermane's going for, right?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why he would go for the Terra.
Oh, he does come out. Interesting to see how much this Dazzling Gleam will do, because, you know, it did resist it before.
So, not that much.
Not that
but
much,
Ivy Cudgel most likely going to take out this Indeedee here. Wow, so the very physically bulky Indeedee.
And Trick Room does go up there.
Also, this less than max attack Ogerpon, so Trick Room does go up here. Armor Rouge is primed into a very good position now. The Helping Hand Expanding Force for you.
It's actually very interesting because I think Fluttermane actually does live in Expanding Force.
With Helping Hand?
Oh, maybe not with Helping Hand, but I mean, I believe we did see it live in Expanding Force that wasn't Helping Hand boosted, but probably gonna happen now.
I think you're thinking of last game.
Probably. Oh yeah, that's probably last
these are different
round.
Fluttermane spreads. We will see how he chooses to position. So a Dazzling Gleam coming out again from Josh. It looks pretty distraught, but we'll see. So the Helping Hand Expanding Force coming out. Classic Armor Rouge and DD players.
And let's see if
Spiky Shield into the Ogerpon. So critically going to live one more turn, stalling out that Trick Room. Maybe repositioning. Expanding Force coming out. Let's see how much it does to this Flutter.
And depending on how bulky this Flutter is, it does have a lot of special bulk. Let's see if it takes it out.
Yeah, 135 base, 1 HP live. That is so unfortunate.
And the Indeedee's
takes out the Indeedee,
down.
but not the Armor Rouge. You know, Armor Rouge is there to click another Expanding Force for another turn. Very interesting to see.
Yeah, but crucially, now there's no Helping Hand on the field, right? So he
although Hattering coming out, I think actually boosts the damage more.
Yeah.
So we'll see how Bryce or how Joshu's respond. Fluttermane can click Protect here, stalling yet another turn of Trick Room.
It's like, so can the Ogerpon actually, right? Didn't it attack last turn? No, it's
no,
Spiky Shield last
Ogerpon Spiky Shield last turn. So Ivy Cudgel into the Armor Roost slot. Let's see what Fluttermane chooses to do here. That booster speed particularly not helping it very much.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it the slowest Pokemon on the field, right? Because Trick Room.
I mean, it would be the slowest anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, Josh, like, I mean, that live was really crucial, right? And honestly, I would say he's playing this Trick Room stalling game like pretty well. All things considered, right? And I think, wait a minute, he's just switching in straight into Dondozo Tatsugiri.
Yeah, so actually this is a play that a lot of Dondozo Tatsugiri players like to make in this ice spam, right? So like in the event that you're saving both your mons in the back, right? That are going to be faster when Trick Room ends. The Dondozo is most likely going to live, barring catastrophic critical hits. And
like we saw last game.
Next turn it can always protect, right?
Yeah.
So the thing here is, if the Dozo lives and chooses to go to protect next turn, will Bryce catch that and go for the double Trick Room on the Indeedee and the on the Armor and the Hatterene, reversing it, right?
Yeah.
That'll be very interesting.
Just refreshing.
Comes out from these players. Yeah. So that would be catastrophic for Josh because he is effectively not stalled it out. So Psychic goes into the top 2 slot.
Oh, so he actually targeted the Ogerpon there.
So this Expanding Force is going to do quite a lot, but probably not a kill, barring crits.
Yeah.
Not even close to half. So.
Right. And now he actually he is in a, like, I would say, a decent position here.
So 2 more turns of Trick Room. Protect can go up here. He can just attack this turn too. That is an option. But we'll see what Josh chooses to do. So
I believe he can live a double up, based on how the Expanding Force.
Yeah, it would be close though, because Hatterene does hit pretty hard.
Oh yeah,
the 135 base, 136 base special attack, 1 point higher than Fluttermane there. It's a very scary one, and it's in Psychic Train, right? So that Psychic is boosted to even more power.
Oh yeah, for sure,
so it'll be very interesting. Armor Rouge is not that actually high in special attack, so I would not be surprised to see this Hatterene do quite a lot to this Dozo. So we're gonna see Order Up come out from the armor into the Armor Rouge slot. Maybe going. Okay, so Psychic goes out here.
So he can actually stall at the.
Okay, the critical hit. So
that sucks.
Seems like Lady Luck is shining on Bryce's favor today. He is. If the Expanding Force comes out here, he is in a very good position to win.
It, really. But crucially, actually,
1 more turn of Trick Room, so double protect can come out.
He can double protect, but he also needs to watch out for that
double Trick Room. That is
right?
such an interesting play different players can do, you know, especially into a very telegraphed protects, like when Trick Room is going down and stuff. The Fluttermane being at 1 HP is so clutch here, allowing Josh to maybe live another life, but you know that crit very unfortunate here. Those are players' worst nightmares, honestly.
I could see the Ogerpon actually going for an attack here, but I cannot see the Fluttermane right there.
Yeah, it's rough, honestly.
It's rough. There's a lot of mind games here. I mean, I believe in this.
It's all up to if Josh sees that Bryce can make that play, and if he believes Bryce will make that play. Yeah. These players do know each other very well. They understand their play styles. They've fought many times before. So seems like Josh is going to go for the read. Gonna go for the attack. Hope that Bryce does click that double up move on Trick Room. Bryce goes for the switch into the Indeedee with the probably Expanding Force. Oh, Iron Hands. I forgot. Get 1 more Pokemon.
Okay, so this is very.
So Hands comes out and Expanding Force. So that's a dead Fluttermane, and that.
It might be a Ogerpon. Oh
so
no,
it lives. Most Ogerpons love that. So it's very interesting actually. The Ogerpon going for that Ivy Cudgel into the Armor Rouge. So.
Yeah, but it's very interesting because it is this Ogerpon versus the world here, right?
Yeah.
I don't think
this is very doable. Ogerpon here not having any healing moves. Psychic Train's going down, I think, this turn. So Iron Hands can critically go for that fake out. I guess Spiky Shield's a possibility.
Yeah, but that's
if Spiky Shield goes up, the Trick Room goes back up. So
Bryce set up his endgame very well here. Actually,
he positioned. He played his out right. What was the trick? The crit. I think he was in still great position without a crit. There's a very good chance that Dozo would have gone down anyway. But critically, the Tatsu goes down early, right? That was huge because he gets.
That's a critical source of speed control.
Yeah, I mean he also gets 1 less protect, right? So Tatsu going down is huge. He goes to that Terrifier. I think this is over though. Does not look like a good position. Fake out into Trick Room is just such a free play from Bryce.
Yeah,
I guess
it really sucks. I mean, like Dondozo just taking a bunch of attacks, take 2 crits, unfortunately, right? I mean,
I mean that's the price you pay when you go offensive Dozo, right? Crits are even more vulnerable for you.
You can't just get the healing from leftover.
Yeah, you can't patch up your healing. So fake out does go off, and it looks like it's a done deal for Bryce. moving on to the finals. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Both players played extremely well.
Oh yeah,
but-
no. I mean,
yeah.
both like Josh played to stall out the trick room, and he did a really good job, right? I mean, he did
So
the best he
forfeit
could.
coming out, yeah.
And Bryce Song, I mean, moving on to
Bong the gamer.
Bong
he
the
lives
gamer.
on.
Yep, and you know, we'll see who he fights. I don't know. Actually, they are actually finishing the game still.
This will
over
be
there.
very fascinating to see. I'm really excited for the finals game.
Oh
What
yeah,
about you?
no, sure. I'm really excited too. And
So
you know,
we know Gavin's team, right? The Sing Clefairy, the Fissure, Landorus, Scarf. That'll be really interesting to see how it matches with Bryce. Critically, those players did play in the last round of Swiss, giving Gavin a win. So we will see who actually comes out on top. The 7th and 8th ranked seeded players in Swiss, but they end up maybe meeting the finals. We'll see.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting, right? I mean, critically, like our first seed, unfortunately, wasn't able to make it, right? But I mean, it is what it is, right? So, in maybe like a few minutes,
Alejandro and Gavin are entering their 3rd game right now, so we'll see what happens in a few minutes.
Yeah, so in a few minutes, we'll get back to you with the finals of Gym Challenge Sunday number 3 Premier Challenge, right? First one of the
See you guys
first
soon.
one of the SoCal season. So,
Yeah.
really cool. So we'll see you guys in a bit.